let's have a look at the following. When you have different settlements, settlements are classified according to different sizes. Now let us have a look at the different sizes in which settlements can be classified. Here we've got them. The smallest one is an isolated farmstead, followed by a hamlet, everyone just a bit larger than the following, then a village, a town, city, metropolis, conurbation, and your megalopolis. Please, matrics, see that you know what each, you must be able to define each of them, or you must also be in a position to give an example of. Now this is very, very easy. Please note that you must be able to see which ones are the smallest ones, which ones are the largest ones, and you must also be able to identify them on your either map or diagram or whatever they will give you in the exams. What's also very important, people, is that, as I've mentioned before, you must know which one are the smaller ones and which ones are the larger ones. Okay, now, your settlements can be classified into either rural or urban. And your rural settlements would be your isolated farmstead, your hamlet, your village, and the urbans would be the town, city, metropolis, conurbation, and megalopolis. So people, please, you must be able to classify them in rural and in urban settlements. Now, immediately the question arises, but how do we distinguish between urban and rural settlements? Now, let's just have a look at this. Here we've got our rural settlements here and our urban settlements on that side. Now, how do I know when if a settlement is rural or urban? Let's have a look at this. Firstly, your rural settlement is single function, and we have our primary activities there. The urban settlement is multifunctional, secondary and tertiary activities. Now, okay, just have a look at this slide and let's just compare the two and with each other. You'll see this one is single functional, in other words, one function, and that one function would be primary activities. This is your rural settlement. Now, I have to compare that with your urban settlement. Multifunctional, in other words, more than one function, and there we usually get our secondary activities and our tertiary activities. So please, people, if they confront you with a photo or with a diagram or a topo map, then you must be in a position to say, where do I find the rural settlement and where do I find the urban settlement, and you must also be able to give reasons for your answers. Okay, the following concepts is very important. You must be able to distinguish and define your nucleated and your dispersed settlement. Now, firstly, let's have a look at the definition of it. In your nucleated settlement, your buildings are close together, and your dispersed settlement, the buildings are widely separated. They are further apart. Now, look at these two photos. Immediately you see here we've got the buildings close together, and here they are widely separated. Now, a very popular question is, but why is your dispersed settlement much better from an economic point of view? Why is this one better than that one? Let's have a look at this. Now, if you have a look at your dispersed settlement, you'll see that your farmer here, firstly, is one single piece of land, and the farmer he lives on the farm, he makes his own decision, he manages the farm, no traveling is involved here, and it's easy to mechanize on this farm. But if you have a look at this one, then you'll see when at the nucleated settlement, a farmer will have a few patches of land surrounding the settlement. So what's going to happen now? He's going to have loose patches of land, and on each of those patches of land, there must be a foreman. The foreman will make the decisions, not the farmer, and the farmer is living in the village, he's not living on the land, and what the result is he must travel a lot between his different patches of land. And because you've got small patches of land that are separated from each other, means that mechanization will be very, very difficult in this case. So please remember, your dispersed settlement from an economic point of view is much, much better. But from a social point of view, of course, your nucleated settlement would be much better.